If we're talking about the weight loss market, you've got to go and look at what other people are saying. So let's say they've got 2 or 3 dress sizes to drop. So they possibly have been to Weight Watchers or Slimming World. They probably have bought a treadmill or some sort of home exercise machine that's now in their bedroom and is nothing but a fancy wardrobe that they hang their coat on. They potentially have done something like P90X or taken slimming pills or been to a gym that they've, had a gym membership that they've never used. So these guys have done a lot of things, but they're still stuck. So you've got 2 barriers to overcome because of this. Barrier number 1 is that they don't believe your marketing, because when you claim that you can help them drop 2 or 3 dress sizes, they don't believe you because they don't believe themselves. So the way to overcome those beliefs is to take small steps. So marketing as a fitness professional and any other sort of marketing is just about getting people to take the next step. You don't need to sell the drop 3 dress sizes or drop 2 dress sizes. You just need to sell, get started. If you look at like car ads on TV aren't designed to sell a 30, 40,000 pounds or dollars car. They're designed just to get you to come in for a test drive. And that's what your marketing should be really doing. Create the desire, get someone in for a test drive, and then when you're in for a test drive, it's the job of the sales guy to take you out, show you the car, and then try and sell it to you, and then sell you all the optional extras that you really want. And it's the same with fitness. That's all you have to do.
If you are in a geographical constrained area, so you have a physical location, and that physical location has a populace largely of, let's say, senior people, age 55 plus, but you're advertising your services to 25-year-old Instagram models that want to get shredded and diced, and all of your content is you with your top off or telling people they need to be in a calorie deficit, yawns for days. If you're telling people that, but then your geographical area is populated and densely populated by the 55 plus area, you can't be too disappointed then that you're not getting a lot of leads from your avatar. So we have to think about geographical context. If I was in inner city London with a studio and I put a 10-kilometer range, I'd probably end up with about 1 million potential women. So at that point, when you're in a big city, it's probably a good idea to have more like niched down content. So it might then be for city workers, it might be for mums, whatever it may be. But the reality of it is your avatar really does take care of itself when you identify who you've got amazing results with over a particular time frame, and then you can prove how they got those results. When you do that, that takes care of itself. If, for instance, tomorrow I bring in somebody like a mum, 35 years old, gets amazing results in 30 days. She comes to 12 sessions a month, has a calorie deficit, and we just get on, we just get on. And then she invites her friend down who doesn't look anything like her, different interests, but she invites her friend down because she thinks from an attitude perspective she's really going to like it. Her friend then signs up. Now we've got like 2 people of a similar age, but with vastly different experience and goals. Then the new person that comes in, she invites her boyfriend in, and her boyfriend now. So now all of a sudden we've got fat loss woman, strength training woman, fat loss man. And then he brings his mate in. And like by the time you've gone through that process, your actual client base will be a mishmash of all things. So even in the geographical context, if you get really good at your job, your referrals that come in will likely be a mishmash of your avatar. So what I prefer to do when it comes to promoting how I get new clients into the business, I'll sit down and think, hey, who have I worked with I've really enjoyed? How old were they? What was their initial goal? How did they make progress? Did they make progress in a time frame that I can sell? For instance, the way into my business, the way into my gym is that we sell a 30-day trial. So what have people achieved in 30 days that I can celebrate? How can I celebrate the behaviors and the attitudes of our best clients? Because if I promote based on the experiences our clients have had, the attitudes they have to train in, the results they've had, and how they've achieved those results in real simple terms, like they had to come to 12 sessions a month, they have to have a nutrition plan that we create for them, and they have to have a weekly body scan on our in-body scanner. If we throw all those things into the mix, It then allows us to attract people that value that. Now, that might be a 55-year-old woman. That might be a 21-year-old woman. We don't get to choose too much. But you do need, in terms of your marketing content going out to the world, you do need to show how you do your job, what the impact of it is, what the results of that are, and who you're getting on with really well, who you obviously have a great relationship with, because the audience then can frame whether or not they think it's going to be a good place for them. But I don't personally believe that going through like a huge avatar process is necessarily that beneficial to barely anyone in our industry. Barely anyone. Because what your client base ends up looking like versus what you think it will look like going down that process will be vastly different.
So for a business starting out, your only concern is, where are my ideal clients? And what do I need to say to them? What words do I need to use in my marketing to get them to want to contact me? That's it. We call it fishing where the fishes are. You need to know what pond your little fishies that you are after are in, number one. And you need to know what bait to put on your fishing hook so that they will respond to that bait and hook on. That's basically what we're doing. So the first thing you need to understand with social media, if you're a newbie, is, first of all, is your ideal client on social media? Because if they're not, don't bother. I don't care if people say, oh, Instagram's amazing and I'm getting loads of clients from it. Yeah, but they might have a completely different ideal client to you. You know, so many people hurl themselves into the social media thing because they think they should. Because, oh, isn't everyone on social media now? When I started my business 8 years ago, for the first, I would say, 2 to 3 years, I had no presence on social media at all. And I got myself to about 400 or 500 grand a year. No website, no presence on social media. Why? Because I didn't know how. I had no idea. But what I knew I was good at understanding the pain and problems my ideal clients were having. And I was good at using language that would attract them. So I just used different stuff. I did a lot of joint ventures. And for those of you who don't know, a joint venture is where you reach out to other people who already have a business that you think are not in direct competition with you, but they do have your ideal clients as their clients typically. So a great example is, let's say you've established that your typical client is someone over 40, they're probably employed, they've probably got kids who are probably of a primary school age. You might go, right, okay, what I could do then as a joint venture is I could find out where that kind of person spends their money when they do their supermarket shop. What supermarket do they use? And I could find out what kind of schools their kids go to. And I could find out what dry cleaners they use, because they get their shirts dry cleaned every week because they have an office job and that's what they do. And what I will do is I'll approach the dry cleaners, the shop, the supermarket and the school to see if I can do a joint venture with them. And a joint venture is simply where that establishment says, yeah, we'll promote your business. And in return, every time someone sees your marketing from our business and pays you money, you're going to give us a finder's fee. So it might be 10%, might be 15%, might be more. So don't think that you have to be a technological whiz. You don't. You need to play to your strengths and you need to focus on targeting the pain, the problems, the challenges, the worries, the frustrations that people have, because that is what will get people buying from you. That's more important than figuring out Facebook.